Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cash from Factory Underground Tech, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about sound treatment. First off, I'm not talking about soundproofing today. Soundproofing is going to be something that you're going to need if you're worried about keeping up your parents, your neighbors, your girlfriend, your dog, whatever. Today we're talking about how we can best treat our room, in this case an imperfect room, to sound the best when you're working on projects and help you get the best, most accurate sound when you're taking your mixes and your projects out of your home studio. I mentioned that this is not a perfect room. Guzman, my guy, is gonna probably do a pan right around now, and you're gonna see that this is a little box that I'm in. This is actually the basement of my home, which I do a lot of pre-production, and actually some stuff I take pretty far into the mixing process before I bring it into the Factory Underground. Ideally, my situation would be a rectangular room where I'd be mixing in the front third and I'd have 2/3 behind me, but that's not an option, as you can see in this tiny room. So there are a couple of things that I'm doing to help. I am bringing my speakers off the wall as far as I can, and I am still generally in the center of the room as far as my left side and my right side. But with that, you'll see that my right side is glass door and my left side is sheetrock. So to kill some of the reflection in the room, get some heavy duty curtains and keep them closed while you're working. We're just trying to do what we can in our room so we can get the best projects possible. Some other things that are super key are these traps and sound absorbers that I have throughout the room that are killing the vibration of the sound, the reflection of the sound. And I have them placed in some spots that I find are to be pretty key. They're a little bit thicker off in the corners. These would be considered bass traps. The material I'm using is called 703 in this case. I purchased the 703, ordered a bunch of it. It's a hardish insulation. Usually comes in 2x4 sheets. You can get it 1 inch thick, 2 inch thick. For my bass traps, I actually have it doubled up with 2 sheets of 2 inch thick 703. And then I framed it out with some wood. The fabric I'm actually using on this is burlap. It's a cheaper alternative to the blue panels, which are leftover material that I had from the studio that was Guilford of Maine fabric. The Guilford of Maine fabric is great. It's more expensive. It's probably about 3 times the price, I believe. Both of the materials, something that's key about them is they are porous. So they are allowing the sound to go through and be absorbed by the insulation. So I got my big guys over here in the corners, and then I've got some stuff behind the speakers, and you'll notice I have them on the ceiling as well. You don't want the sound to be reflecting off the ceiling, off of a hard surface, and back down upon your ears. Also, I have them in early reflection points. You'll notice that they're just sitting on the ground. We're just doing the best we can to get the best product out there. This stuff over here, Auralex, that's not necessarily going to be the best stuff out there. It does help though. Even the wallpaper does help because it's got a soft texture on it. So you see I did a little bit of wood because it's a porous material. So again, it's going to have a little bit more give to it. Basically, you're going to want to dampen the room with any materials you have at your disposal. We'll flash a couple materials that we've also used in the past. We're going to talk about listening position. So a couple of things to think about. Generally, if you can, you don't really want the speakers to be exactly half between the ceiling and the floor. It's again, just has to do with some phasing stuff so the reflections don't happen at exactly the same time. You'll notice I have decouplers also, which are allowing my speakers to be raised up off of the desk and not having the vibrations travel through the desk. We'll flash up on the screen a couple of cool different options. Next thing about speakers that's super important is you want to be in a triangle. You want to be in the center, and you want the triangle ending right behind your head. The distance between your 2 tweeters is the same as that spot right behind your head. When you're looking at your speakers, generally, you do not want to see either side of the speakers. If you were sitting in my listening position right now, you see the face of the speakers, but you can't actually see either side of the speakers, and that's going to give you the proper angle so you're getting the most accurate picture of the stereo field. It's ideal that the tweeters are at the same level or height as your ears. Also, you might notice this is not the prettiest option, but my right speaker was never as high as my left speaker, so I ended up grabbing some wood just to play a little bit of jazz and do the best I can to make sure that the speaker height is both the same on the right and left. Common problem that I actually find happening in home studios or project studios is sometimes you'll get something called RF, which is radio frequencies, and all of a sudden you'll start hearing a radio station come through the speakers or through the headphones or through the signal. A couple of ways that we can try and fix this on the cheap. One way is we could check and see if our cables are bad. We can reposition our cables. So if you have a power cable running this way behind your speaker system and you have an XLR or a balance cable running parallel to that, there's more of a chance of you having RF occur. What is a better option is have your power cable running horizontally, that when they cross perpendicular. Try different outlets and upgrade the quality of your cables. We'll flash some cable recommendations on the screen so you can check them out. Lastly, another thing that's going to be pretty important for you to have at your home studio, mainly to protect your investment and protect your gear, is a power conditioner. This is a Furman power conditioner that I use that is just going to make sure that the voltage that comes into all my gear is consistently at about 120 volts. There's no spikes that could damage my equipment, my computers, my speakers, or anything like that. It's just going to give me the clearest and most noise-free signal through all my gear. So that concludes our talk on sound treatment. Hopefully it's been helpful and you can use some of these tools to set up your own room.
Thank you for participating in this Factory Underground Tech lesson. To learn more about Factory Underground Tech, please visit factoryundergroundtech.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.